What's going on, guys? Jack here and welcome to episode 22 of the Bristol Rovers career mode. And this episode we're firstly going into a game against Joe Widdowson's ex-teammates, their former teammates, and also Lee Brown. You know, we did the exchange deal for them. I think it was Lee Brown went to Northampton, and I think I got Widdowson on a free in exchange, which is an absolute bargain because Widdowson's done some good work for us in this half of the season, and he's done good stuff for us, being a solid defender, I guess, and a good cover for that left back position because we really did need it, as Lee Brown wasn't really the best of players in that position. He was too slow for a left back. I like my full backs to be quite pacey because, you know, they need to get up and down the pitch and have good stamina as well because, you know, having good stamina is important so that they don't get injured. But you can see here, we're on 93 points currently. Look at our goal difference, 44. Absolutely astonishing. And we're going into this game. Hopefully we can win it. If we do, and at the minimum get a draw in the next game against Morecambe, I think it is, then we are guaranteed promotion into Football League One. Although, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be able to get that anyway. If not in the next 2 games, then in the next 3 games for sure, because the teams that I'm facing, they're not going to be winning every single one of their games because they're not the most solid of teams, so I wouldn't expect them to do wonders. But you can see here on the stroke of half-time, Clucas, I think it is, or Clarkus, whatever his name is, running down the wing. Look at that burst of pace, crosses it into Max Clayton, and Max Clayton scores a fantastic header. For someone with 58 heading accuracy, he's scored a lot of headers for me this season, that's for sure. And hopefully he'll be able to score some more next season, you know. Northampton's goalkeepers certainly weren't happy about that. I mean, that really should have been defended better. But, you know, Clarkus, he has really good pace off the line. Like, he's really good at dribbling as well and crossing. He's such a really good technical player. But you can see here, really stupid penalty to give away, really, because it was just before, well, it was just before half-time. They literally picked up the ball and gone down and right into my box, and I gave away a penalty. It was really ridiculous. I really shouldn't have done that, and I'm no good at saving penalties. You know that. I lost, I think, against Stoke City on penalties in the FA Cup, if I'm right in saying, and I also lost in the J-Paint Trophy because of that. And I go the wrong way. He takes me the wrong way, the Northampton player, and scores in the 45th minute. Good penalty, I guess. He tucked that one away very nicely, and that levels it up. It really shouldn't have been 1-0 at half-time. It's so undeserved. And it was really Gary Kenneth's fault, because I had no say in him tackling him poorly like that, and it's really disappointing to have to go into half-time at 1-0 because I thought he would have done a little bit better. And you can see that I was trying to do the kickoff glitch, but it didn't work. I'm such a failure at that. But we do go into half-time 1-0. Not too bad, I guess. Not too bad indeed, but it'd be better if we get a win in this game, because if we do get a win in this game and then we get a minimum of a draw in the next game against Morecambe, that is going to put us in really good stead, and it will give us automatic promotion as well, and that's what we want. We want to get promoted, as I've said before. And yeah, hopefully we can create a few more chances in the second half. I didn't actually realise that we'd actually had the same amount of shots on target, but I'm pretty sure that only shot on target from them was from a penalty. Otherwise they would have only had a shot, and that wouldn't have even been on target in the first place anyway. But I don't actually bring on any substitutions, despite the fact that Ryan Gould has really poor stamina. That's the only problem with Ryan Gould. He's so quick and agile. He's a really lovely player to play with, but the only problem is I can't play him consistently as I want him to because his stamina is just not good enough. It really isn't. It's about 50, I think it is, so that's not good at all. But you can see here, nonetheless, Widdowson crossing the ball in, and unfortunately it's cleared away, and then Gould's shot with his 5-star weak foot onto his right foot. I think that is his weak foot, but unfortunately just goes wide of the post. That would have been a great chance for the 18-year-old to score there, but unfortunately it just goes wide of the post, although the goalkeeper did dive the right way and made sure that even if it was on target, he would have had that covered. And nonetheless, look at this pass from Oscar Gil, you know, the man on loan from Sevilla, and he really does set up Ryan Brunt well there to score, and that was a fantastic assist. The goal was fairly mediocre, I guess, for Ryan Brunt's standards, but it's still a great goal. Look at the curve on that. Perfectly picking out Ryan Brunt, and a fantastic finish with his right foot into the bottom left-hand corner. Goalkeeper, no chance. Look at that, taking it on the full, taking it on the volley, and it's really, really powerful shot. And that is how the game ends. We managed to win it 2-1, which means that we are in good stead. If we win or draw the next game, we are promoted into League One, and that's what we really want, because we'll have so much more funds in League One, so much more funds. I'm really hoping that we will anyway, and I think at the end of the season, I've already finished this season, but at the end of the season I did spend all of the transfer budget that we did have left, because it does reset after the end of the season. So I thought, you know, I might as well at least buy a couple more scouts. So that's what I've done. I've bought a couple more scouts for the team, and hopefully they'll come back and give us good results. I did have to buy a English one, I think, because the one that I did have, I think he's from Denmark. Scouting him in England just doesn't work. It's as simple as that. I mean, I got Frank Doyle, but that's the only player. But if I scout someone, you know, well, if I scout, basically, the Denmark scout, he's 2-star judgment and 2-star experience, but it's better to have an English scout with 1-star judgment and 1-star experience in their home country, because they'll be able to find better talent more likely, and it will just prove to be more likely that I'll stumble across a very, very good youth player and I can use him in the first team. And that's just the logic around it. And if I've got funds to spend, there's no point just leaving them there, because it's just going to reset at the end of this season anyway. So, you know, I might as well spend it while I have it, and that's the logic around it, really. But you can see we're going into this game against Morecambe, and we get off to a very good start there. A really good cross from him. I think that was John Joe O'Toole, if I'm right in saying. It might be Michael Smith, though. But whoever it was a very good delivery. But unfortunately, I think that was Max Clayton in the box. He couldn't quite get his head on it. And for a player that has 58 heading accuracy, he's scored tons of headers for me this season. It's honestly ridiculous. That's just the truth, really. It is ridiculous. But I'm just going to use this time to just talk to you about this series and the fact that at the end of this season, I'm going to be losing Mildenhall, and he's been probably the best keeper, or one of the best keepers I've used in, well, he's definitely the best keeper I've used in this series, but in any career mode series that I've ever done, he's been the best keeper by far. He's been fantastic for us. He's just done everything right, and he hasn't made too many errors, to be honest, and it's going to be a shame when he does retire, because it's going to leave a massive gaping hole, and I'm going to have to sign a keeper as soon as possible. As soon as the next season starts, I'm going to have to sign it. But it's like I've said before, it's just a shame that EA don't add in the option to kind of persuade a player, I guess you could say, to not retire and carry on. Because if a player is playing as consistent as Mildenhall is, and playing every single game, day in, day out, then surely that is a signal that they really shouldn't be retiring. But, you know, I guess that's just the script. That's just how EA script it. And with every single career mode, players will retire at varied ages. So if I start up a new Bristol Rovers career mode, then Mildenhall may retire after 2 seasons or after 3 seasons. It just changes every single time. It's just randomised. But of course, they can't go past 40, I think it is. I think by then they would eventually retire. But this is some bad news here. Joe Widdowson has a broken ankle. A broken ankle. He's going to be out for 3 months. That is a real disappointment. I thought that he would have been there, but maybe, just maybe, he'll be there for the first game in the pre-season. I'm not 100% sure how long it is. May, June, July. No, he'll definitely be back at the start of next season, which will be good, and he'll be a very crucial player. But you can see this game does end as a draw, and that does mean that we are promoted to the Football League One. That is brilliant, and that is Mildenhall's last match, or last proper match of his career, which is a very, very, it's quite sad, to be honest, because he's been such a solid keeper for us, as I've said, and you know, it's going to be hard to find a decent replacement for him. But I've got a few players that I've lined up ready, and some of them may be free agents next year, because they only have 1 month left on their contract. But this is some good news. Ryan Gould has finally increased finally increased in overall. He's up to 63 overall, which is brilliant to see. I went absolutely nuts because I didn't think that he would actually grow in overall, and I thought that, you know, maybe I would have a problem with growing him and he wouldn't actually grow at all and I'd have to loan him out, which would make his morale drop off the mark completely, because that's just what happens when a crucial player gets loaned out. They're just not happy, they don't understand, they're a bit confused. But you can see all of the players in the squad report, and if you do want to see any of the players, then please do pause the video, because there has been a lot of players that have increased in overall and have increased in stats. So it'd be interesting to have a look if you want to see that. And you can see Frank Doyle up to 57 overall, which is good. But guys, thanks for the support recently on this career mode. I guess it's just fantastic to see that you guys really love this career mode. And if you want it to carry on into season 2, then please smash that like button. I know my likes have dropped off a little bit recently, and that is because of the fact that, you know, videos aren't hitting sub boxes for some reason. But guys, if you have enjoyed this episode of career mode, I'd really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe if you are new, and you know, that really helps me out. And I've got to stop talking, and I'll see you next time for another episode. Thanks for watching.